This video is brought to you by Roguedeckbuilder.com. Purchase a playmat today and help us make the move to our new studio. We have over 10 playmats to choose from. Visit Roguedeckbuilder.com. Hi there, it's Kevin with Roguedeckbuilder.com, continuing off our top 10 list of cards that I'm going to miss post-rotation. Now for number 3, I'm going to choose a card that I was very successful with. In fact, this was the deck that I was the most successful with and throughout this last standard season, and I was really split between two different cards that are going to be rotating. One of them was extremely explosive and fun and really did add a little bit of surprise factor towards the deck, and the other one was more of the glue that held back together, or completely held together the deck. So I think I'm going to go with the glue. So I'm not going to go with Flesh and Blood. Flesh and Blood would be more my favorite card out of here, but it was Jarad Golgari Lich Lord that was really the glue that held the deck together. And this is a deck that was Jund Dredge. You might have remembered that from my PTQ top 8 finish, and I played the death out of this deck until it got pretty popular to play the BG Dredge style, and then I kind of let it go and moved on to other things, because as a rogue deck builder I get very bored of decks very easily, and especially if they become more mainstream, then it kind of takes away my zeal for the deck. So I decided to, after the BG Dredge is very similar to it, the only real difference is the Flesh Bloods and Gorkon Rampagers, which I will still argue to death are very, very pertinent to this strategy, and I don't really like the BG Dredge style, so I think that still going the red is the right way to go. So anywho, let's just pull up this list on MTGO. So here's the list. We have 2 Jarad Golgari Lich Lords. That's really all the deck needs because you're going through your deck so much. So the engine in this deck are going to be 2 Commune with the Gods, 4 Satyr Wayfinders, and then we also have 4 Grisly Salvages, and you're going to mainly get lands with these and throw all the creatures in the graveyard. And there is a lot of cool tricks in this deck. You can lot the troll away Jarad Golgari Lich Lord for counters, and then sacrifice the swamps and forests to get Jarad back to your hand, and then ditch them again to lot the troll. And then you can get lot the troll big enough, especially if he is hooked up with a Night Howler. So you can go for this 4th turn kill, where second turn you throw out lot the troll, third turn you or it'd be 4th turn, yeah. So you'd have to have an accelerate. So it's more like a 5-turn kill is what would happen. But you can put a lot of pressure until that point. And I think I've got a lot quicker than even 5-turn kills with this. But anywho, that's just the gist, is you try to hook up like Night Howler to either lot the troll or like even a Shadowborn Demon. And putting it on a Gorkon Rampager isn't bad either, because trample is so necessary for this deck. And that's one of the reasons I prefer it over the BG Dredge style, is they have Herald of Torments in the deck to try to give this pseudo evasion, and they play 4 Shadowborn Demons, and we don't want to play that route. We're going to try to end the game as soon as possible. So anywho, so the land base is pretty self-explanatory. Everything generates either a green or a black. So I have Urwar Tumi Yawgmoth that makes all of our green red, able to tap for a black, and then double black will be quite easy to get with the Shadowborn Demon. So this deck is coming at number 3 because, again, I had a lot of success for it. I like to say that I was a pack rat away from getting a plane ticket to the Pro Tour, as I did proceed to lose to a Thoughtseize Mutavault pack rat, actually double pack rat in the top 8. One of the games, the first game, I won pretty easily. The second game, I molded to 4, I believe, and then lost. Yeah, it's very hard to mold a 4, especially against a deck like Mono Black Devotion. And then game 3, he had his Nut Draw. The next 2 matchups would have been Bant Control and Esper Control, and both of those at the time were very easy for the Underworld Cerberus, especially coming in the sideboard, or Lot the Troll was really the card that was just phenomenal. Well, there was no Banishing Light, so there was Detention Sphere at the time, but they had to have a Detention Sphere with Lot the Troll, or just ran them over. So those are pretty. That's why I built the deck at the time, was to beat Esper Control, and it had been beating Esper Control like crazy. And very disappointed to lose the pack rat draw. It's probably no surprise, spoiler alert, what's going to be on my top 10 cards that I'm glad is going to be rotating. I think we all want to see that card gone. I'm so sick of the first turn Thoughtseize, second turn Mutavault pack rat draw. So anyway, again, here's the deck. The deck tries to get a lot of... Night Howler's the best card in the deck, so you're definitely trying to find Night Howler. You have control through Shadowborn Demon. You have a little bit of life gain through Scavenging Ooze. You have ways to find everything you need through the Commune with the Gods, Grizzly Salvage, and Satyr Wayfinders. I'm trying out a new card in here with Soul Chandelar to see how it works. A First Striker 6/6, but really just you want to ditch Season the Graveyard, and it gives you something to do with your mana. I'm not quite sure if this is going to make the cut. It's just something, I wanted to try something new with the deck, and the Nyx Weaver just didn't seem to fit the role. I already was dredging enough with, like, I'd rather have another Commune with the Gods over Nyx Weaver, and I think we're fine at 10 ways to actually throw stuff in our graveyard. So again, the BG Dredge tries to chuck even more stuff in the graveyard, hook up a Night Howler to like a Shadowborn Demon. We try to go over the top with Goreclan Rampager and Flesh Blood. So on the sideboard, I'm going to try Soul of Innistrad again, and then Scavenging Oozes are really in there just to gain life against Burn and Rabblemaster. We have 2 Dreadbores for more control, 2 Abrupt Decays, and 3 Golgari Charms to take care of any pesky enchantments. 4 Underworld Cerberus in the sideboard. They're great against any sort of control deck. And that they're also not too shabby to hook up with a Night Howler. And if they kill your Underworld Cerberus, you get everything back, which most likely will be a lot more stuff in the graveyard than they have. So again, that's the gist of the deck. We've all seen it before. I've played this deck to death. I think that's one thing with being a rogue deck builder, is that once your deck becomes popular, and BG Dredge did become very popular, it kind of kills the zeal to run it. So I moved on to other more creative outlets. And just overall, I played this for like a month, and a month is really the shelf life before I start to get bored with a deck. So anyway, this is a farewell to Jund Dredge that really performed the greatest out of all the decks that I played throughout the season, and was really the all-star and go-to deck that I had for a while when I played the competitive PTQ scene. So anyway, hope you enjoyed these matchups. This has been Kevin with Roguedeckbuilder.com. Thanks for watching.